So today, I just want to ask you a question. Do you know what a Mashimaro is?
Is it like a marshmallow?
Dude, a Mashimaro is actually a rabbit. A white rabbit.
I'm not too far off. Yummy.
You're very far off, yeah? So it's a character that was created in South Korea. So some people, sometimes it is usually compared to the Japanese Hello Kitty. It's a character for that, cartoon character that's very famous from that country.
Really?
Wait, let me show you. Mana tahu you tahu because from the photo. Anyways, we go back to 2005. How old were you when in 2005?
2005.
Yeah, I have to count also.
Maybe 10 kot.
Are we the same age?
No. Rahsia lah.
I don't want to expose my age. But 2005, I think I'm in sekolah rendah.
Yeah, I was in sekolah rendah too.
Okay, we're close in age. We're close in age. Okay. So one day a cleaner was cleaning.
Okay.
And he found a giant white sack lying on the ground. So he was curious lah. He went towards the white sack and then he found a hand sticking out from the sack. But he thought it was a mannequin because, people throw out weird things all the time. So he thought oh, that's probably like a retail store and jual baju threw out an old mannequin. So he was trying to lift it up and bring it somewhere to clear the space lah. Anyway, so he tried lifting the sack and then it was a little bit heavier than he expected because mannequin usually are not that heavy because you have to transport them all the time kan, if you want to pindah-pindahkan dorang. So at first he was a bit weirded out lah. So he tried touching the hand.
Okay.
And apparently it's a little bit squishy. So yeah, he called the police and the police investigated and found a body of a woman. And the way the body was found was she had a black plastic bag wrapped around her head and it was tied. There's something like a tali tied in a knot lah. You tighten it. Yeah.
They suffocated her to death?
Yeah, so the cause of death was suffocation and that's the only thing the police know. Further investigation did find some tissues and menstrual pads inside her body. So they think it was like she's involved. She was harassed or sexually assaulted.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's all they know about what happened. There's no more clues. There's nothing. There's no DNA samples. There's no signs of struggling, so they don't know who did it.
So what does this have to do with Mashimaro?
It's a long story. So we have to write it for now, okay? So 6 months later. So there's nothing after that. And then 6 months later, a restaurant owner, I don't know what time it is in the day, it doesn't say. Probably he was closing his restaurant or he's opening up his restaurant. But in front of his restaurant, he found a giant white sack. This time there was no hand sticking out lah. But he was sus. So he called the police immediately.
So
because
it's always the white sack
in front of his restaurant. He called the police because it was sus. He did not touch it lah this time. The police opened the guni and found another woman's body the same way they found the first one, with a black bag tied around her head with a knot, with a tali tied in a knot. And like the previous one, there's also no signs of macam struggling or
any evidence lah.
Yeah, there's no evidence lah. So she was suffocated and she died like that. Anyways, a law professor, Yu Seong-ho, he noticed the similarities in the two cases kan. They were both women thrown out in a white sack, but the most thing yang macam they said that can be a huge clue is how the tali was tied. It was the knot. So like imagine you tying your shoes. You have your own way of tying your shoes, because if you tie your shoes every day, it becomes a habit.
I mean,
because when you tie,
did this person have like a special knot, like macam kat pengangkat kan dia ada like a butterfly knot?
Yes. So for us, it's probably tying our shoes lah. But for this person kan, the professor, he said the way he ties it is someone who works, memang kerja dia untuk tie knot. So he works probably packing boxes or packages. Yeah, because the way he tie it is very professional, not like tying shoes. So and the other thing about his style of tying the knots kan, there is one side of the knot macam a little bit shorter than the other, macam the ends tu, so that dia dah macam terbiasa like to make it easier for it to open, to tarik and buka. Kan there's some knots, and then cara untuk you have to open balik knots kan.
Yeah, I mean,
not
a dead knot lah.
Yeah, so it's not a dead knot lah. So dia ada style dia, macam dia tinggalkan one tali tu a little bit longer so that you can like.
This person sounds really creepy, and
he does lah. Sounds creepy when you can tie things. For me. You have that skill kan, yang macam
you professionally tie things and you use it to murder people. Cool.
Okay, so that's the second murder case lah. So then, as just like the first one, they didn't find anything. There's no new evidence. There's nothing leading to like who would have done it. So the case went cold, and then conveniently 6 months later pula, so it's a year after the first case, a woman came to the police station in a panic. She told the police that she was kidnapped, and the police asked her what happened. So this is what happened, and it will finally answer your question about the Mashimaro. Okay, so apparently on May 31st in 2006, the woman was at Shinjong Station in Seoul in South Korea. She was kidnapped at that station, and she was brought to a dark basement. So she was kidnapped lah at a dark basement. She was brought there, and then she told the police that she waited for a while because the kidnapper suddenly wanted to go to the bathroom. Okay. So he left the basement, and then she tried to find a way to leave. So she went to the door, and the door was unlocked. Lucky for her, the door was unlocked. So she didn't know which building she's in lah. So dia keluar daripada basement tu, and then she went to the second floor, like 2 upper floors. Sebab sekarang dia tak tahu.
Is the building is like a house or apartment?
That's what she doesn't know, because she's from the inside right now. So dia baru keluar daripada basement, so she doesn't know where to go. So she naik 2 tingkat atas. And then she found like a rak kasut. She found a shoe rack, and she menyorok behind the shoe rack. So while she was waiting, she was trying to find clues lah, because she wants to know where she is. So when she was looking around, on the shoe rack, she found a sticker. So on the shoe rack there was a Mashimaro sticker, and also there's a tiny flower pot on top of the shoe rack. So that's the only thing she saw at that time. And then she kind of waited for a while, and then when she feels like macam the coast is clear, she found an exit. Didn't say anything to anyone because she was so scared. She takut she accidentally talked to the kidnapper kan. So she tried to find a way to exit, and she managed to escape. But because she was so scared, she ran as fast as she could, and she hid inside a school. Yeah. So when she was at the school kan, That's when she was looking for a police station where she can report what happened lah. But because she couldn't remember jalan apa dia guna or what building she was from,
Must be scary in 2005 kan. Tak ada, you don't have data, you tak ada, you
Yeah.
don't have Google Maps.
yeah, and also we know that in South Korea, especially in Seoul, there's a lot of CCTV cameras, but I don't think there's as much CCTV cameras in 2005 as it is now.
Yeah, and I don't think so they would probably have the capacity to do it because cloud wasn't a thing back then and storage devices wasn't big. Like having 2 GB is quite huge.
Yeah, the technology was not that great lah time tu, and probably memang masa tu dekat jalan semua memang tak ada CCTV cameras.
Phones pun dah tak ada kamera lagi kan.
2005. Yeah, smartphones weren't a thing lah.
Yeah, but days when Nokia was
It was
ruling.
just phone yang ada colour.
Yeah.
And you can play MP3 song.
Belum lagi
Kan?
kot. No,
No?
not yet.
Wow.
I think MP3 songs all came when I was in menengah.
Okay. Wow, he remember things.
I remember.
Yeah. Anyways, the only thing she could tell the police was that she was hiding behind a shoe rack with a Mashimaro sticker and a flower pot on top. And then the police tanya lah, what else did you see when you were in the basement? She told the police that she saw a lot of ropes in the basement. And then the police asked her where was she kidnapped. She told them that she was in Shinjong Station in Seoul in South Korea. And then the police macam the 2 women 6 months ago and a year ago who were found dead in the sack, diorang punya last location was actually at Shinjong Station. So that's how the police kind of connected her kidnapping to the 2 murder cases that happened that didn't have any other clue or evidence kan. So if it wasn't for her, the police wouldn't get any more new leads lah. But unfortunately, the woman don't remember the building because she didn't see it. So because she ran kan. But I feel like 9 years later in 2015, because this happened in 2006 and then 2015 I think, an investigative documentary publicized the evidence that the woman said yang Mashimaro sticker, the shoe rack and the flower pot in South Korea, looking for witnesses because they wanted to do a documentary about the cases lah, the unsolved cases lah. And then a woman called in and said that she lived in that building and she actually owned the shoe rack with the Mashimaro sticker, and the flower pot that was on the shoe rack was actually her child's macam kerja sekolah, and she was putting it there to dry it out. The woman who lived in that building also mentioned that there is a man in his 30s living in the basement. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention juga, when the woman reported to the police kan, she said that she actually heard 2 voices. So ada 2 lelaki. So the police are now looking for a man and maybe an accomplice. Like they do this thing berdua. Yeah, so the woman who lived in the building said there's a man in his 30s living in the basement, and he always had a friend come over, and that's all they have. So the only thing that the woman who lived in the building can do is macam describe his features and have the police macam ada the person who sketch kan. And everything and all that happened right on a weekend. Macam the first case, the second case and the third kidnapping, it all happened on a weekend.
The days where like people use the public transport least lah.
Yes. And I feel like the man knows which station to go to because it wasn't captured, the kidnapping wasn't captured on CCTV. So he probably knows macam, this part of the...
Might just be his habit kan. Might be the closest station to the house.
Maybe.
Macam,
and he's lucky lah that particular station macam tak ada CCTV sangat and it didn't caught his action, because usually kalau even in 2005 I think like an MRT station or an LRT station ours would have a CCTV.
Yeah, I mean I think it sucks that
Yeah.
He's still out there.
So what do you think actually, why did the man do it? Why is it for?
I mean, based on those 5 series that I've watched.
What do you think actually? What actually happened, Dinesh? Let's crack this case open.
I mean, since maybe this guy might be a victim of abuse. During his young age, might be his parents, might be an uncle.
He's neglected lah.
Yeah, and and he might be someone that's going through something that he can't express.
Then he take it on other people.
Yeah, so for him to feel good, I think I seriously think that this kind of people are mentally not well.
I mean, killing more than 2 people, I feel like
that's a serial killer.
It's a serial killer, kan? A serial killer punya behavior also is very repetitive. Like
yes.
They already planned.
They usually mark an identity there.
Yeah, it's all the same, kan? Cara kat mana, where it started, the way the victim was killed, and the way he left them. It's a very
planned, organized,
serial killer-ish behavior. But unfortunately until now, how long has it been? If it's 2006, it's been more than
18 years. Good. No,
almost 20 years.
Almost 20.
Yeah.
18 lah. Betul lah.
Yeah.
That was quick. Okay.
So sampai sekarang nobody knows who the man is. He's probably still running around Seoul. Probably still in that area. Probably he has done more murders, but he's smarter now.